All right, let's talk about a new tool that is really shaking things up in the world of big data. It's called Polars. And look, if you've ever found yourself staring at a progress bar just slowly crawling across your screen while you're trying to work with a massive data set, yeah, then you're definitely in the right place. So let me just start with a quick question. What if you could take a task that usually takes, say, 80 minutes, a real chunk of your day, and instead get it done in just 8 minutes? Sounds kind of wild, right? Almost too good to be true. But that's exactly the kind of massive jump in efficiency we're going to dig into today. Okay, so to really get why a tool this fast is such a big deal, we first have to talk about, well, the world of big data. And more specifically, why we have what you could call a data problem in the first place. You really have to understand the scale of the challenge we're all facing. I mean, think about it. Every single day, we're creating just an unimaginable amount of information. Every time you buy something, every click on a website, every package that gets scanned, it's all data. The sheer volume is just staggering. And for businesses and scientists trying to make sense of all that noise, it's a massive, massive challenge. So for a long time, over a decade really, there's been this classic, trusted tool that pretty much everyone used. It's called Pandas. And don't get me wrong, it's fantastic. A lot of people absolutely love it. But even the best tools can hit a wall, especially when the problem itself gets a whole lot bigger. And this really lays out the problem perfectly. On the one hand, you've got the classic tool, Pandas. It was the champion for years, but it was built for a time when computers pretty much did one thing at a time. But now, the modern challenge is completely different. We have these massive, super complex data sets, and our computers have multiple brains, or cores, that are literally designed to work as a team. The old way just wasn't built for this new world. It just can't keep up. Yeah, and here's a great way to think about it. It's like trying to use your trusty family car to haul a giant commercial shipping container. I mean, the car is great. It's reliable, you know how to drive it, it's perfect for groceries. But for a shipping container, no way. You need a totally different kind of machine. And that's the situation here. The old tool isn't built for the job anymore. And that is where Polaris comes into the picture. It's this new tool built from the ground up specifically to be the high-speed freight train on this new data superhighway. So what is Polaris exactly? Well, in simple terms, it's a modern tool for handling data. But here's the secret sauce. It was built from scratch in a super-fast language called Rust. And Rust is basically famous for one thing: pure blazing speed. That powerful foundation is what makes Polars so unbelievably efficient. And wow, just look at this. This shows you the difference in the most dramatic way possible. This isn't just a little bit faster. In one test, a job that took the classic tool 365 seconds, so a little over 6 minutes, took Polars 4 seconds. Just 4. That's not an improvement. That's a whole new ballgame. It's a completely different level of performance. So you're probably asking, how is that even possible? And no, it's not magic, though it kind of feels like it. It's just really, really clever engineering. Let's pull back the curtain and look at the 3 big secrets behind its incredible speed. Okay, so there are 3 main things going on here. First, Polars plans ahead. Think of it like a smart GPS. Instead of just starting to drive, it looks at the whole trip and figures out the absolute fastest route before you even hit the gas. Second, it uses teamwork. It gets all of your computer's brains working on the problem at the same time instead of just using one. And third, it's super organized. You know how a grocery store puts all the fruit in one aisle? Polars does that with your data, grouping similar stuff together, which makes finding what it needs way, way faster. Now, all of that sounds amazing in theory, right? But does it actually work in the real world? Well, let's take a look. We've got a case study from Citizens Bank, a major U.S. bank. They decided to put Polars to the test with their actual everyday data. And this quote from their team pretty much says it all. Came for the speed, stayed for the syntax. So yeah, the speed is what blows your mind at first. But the syntax, which is just a fancy word for how you write the instructions for it, was so easy and logical to use, they ended up loving it for that too. And here we are, back to that number we started with. This isn't some lab test. This is a real job at a major bank. A process that took 80 minutes, that's a huge roadblock in your day, now takes just 8. That's a 10x speed up. Incredible. And that's why this really matters. It's not just about the clock. It's about changing how people can actually work. That long, frustrating wait, it's now just a short coffee break. It means analysts can spend their time actually thinking and exploring the data, asking more questions, instead of just waiting for the computer to catch up.
And it's not just banking either. You see this everywhere. Financial services can analyze millions of transactions instantly. Retailers can forecast what you're going to buy next. Tech companies can process huge amounts of user data. Even scientists can now handle massive data sets without needing a supercomputer. The benefits are just across the board.
Okay, so let's zoom out for a second. What does all this mean in the big picture? Why does a new tool like this actually matter to everyone? Well, it really boils down to something simple. Faster tools lead to faster insights, and faster insights lead to smarter business decisions and quicker scientific discoveries. When you're not waiting around, you can just get more done. It speeds up progress for everyone. And that kind of leaves us with one final thought to chew on. We just saw how a new tool can totally crush a huge problem like speed. But data is only going to get bigger and bigger. So you have to wonder, what's the next big problem we're going to solve? It's a really exciting time to be watching all this unfold. Thanks for joining me.